Hello, my name is Manu, and welcome to Pour the Random. Today, I am going to do a book haul, and I know I already made a book haul like last month, but I've been fandoming over Stephen King, and I bought a lot of Stephen King books after I read Pet Sematary, and loved it. And I just couldn't hold myself. I've been wanting to search for some vintage or used editions of Stephen King books, and I have searched everywhere. And I have made it my duty to find at least a few here where I live, and I did manage to find some, so I'm going to show you right now what those books are. I'm going to show you the first one, which is Cujo. Cujo, which is in pristine condition. It barely has a little fold over here, but besides that, it seems like it's a new cover, like a new edition. And I'm so excited because I've been wanting to see Cujo, the movie, for a long time. And I haven't because I knew that I was going to read the book at some point in my life. And now I have it, and I really want to read it. And if you don't know what this book is about, this mother and her son get trapped in a car and it's basically die because of the heat or because of the rabbit. I think Saint Bernard. Not sure, do not quote me on that, but that's basically the premise. And I feel like this is going to be so intense because imagine yourself being trapped for days in a car in 100-degree weather, with a rabid dog outside, nothing to eat, nothing to drink. What the hell do you do? What do you do? So this is going to be very interesting. I really want to read it, and let's go to the next book. Then we have Dolores Claiborne, which, look at this majestic cover. Oh my god, and it shines so much, which I love. It is so tattered, like so used, and I love that. I've been wanting to read this book since I saw the movie, but again, I knew that at some point I was going to read it, and I have not watched it. What I know about this book is this woman named Dolores Claiborne that is in a trial for the murder of her husband, and the book is divided between her past life and the trial that is happening in the present. I've been wanting to read more mystery murder novels, and I feel like this is going to be a great pick for that category. Or yeah, besides, it's Stephen King, and I just want to read more Stephen King. So yeah, this is so pretty. I cannot stop looking. Like, it looks so pretty from here. It just shines so much. Anyways, then we have The Talisman by, of course, Mr. Stephen King and Peter Straub. I didn't know anything about this book before I saw it, but I saw the premise, which is about this 13-year-old boy who goes on an adventure to save his mother from dying. I think it's from cancer, but I'm not sure. And I know this has a lot of fantasy elements because he goes through worlds and universes to, I don't know if it's to find a cure or to find some magical element to save his mother. But anyways, it sounds cool. I saw some reviews because I, again, didn't know what this book is about. And the majority of them says it's a great book. It's packed with son-mother relationship topics and some horror, some paranormal, and very much fantasy, which I cannot wait to read. This book is in condition is totally fine. Like, you can see in the cover that it was wet at some point. I mean, whatever, I don't care. This is 700 pages. So it's going to be a pretty extensive read, which I don't mind. I just really want to read all of Stephen King books. I'm so excited for this book. It is Gerald's Game, which is so pretty. This cover is so pretty. It shines because of the gold foiling in Gerald's Game. I could not find this book for the life of me anywhere. Not on Amazon, not on the internet, not as an old copy anywhere. And then I came across this accidentally, like by total accident. And it was so cheap. It was $4. Like, I cannot. cannot. That just cost me $4. Anyhow, I know this book is disgusting and horrific because it is so disgusting. And I want that. I want the whole package. If you don't know what this book is about, it's basically about this couple that go on a cabin in the woods and they start playing sexually and they start, and basically the husband or the boyfriend or whatever he is to her, he handcuffs her to the bed and he dies before they have sex or when they're having sex. And she basically gets trapped there for days. And I don't know what happens after that. Like, I've seen the movie, but I am guessing that the movie is pretty different from the book. The premise sounds like a book that I want to read, like, right now. But I'm gonna wait a little because if it were for me, I would read all of these Stephen King books, like, this month. But I have to spread them out because I cannot just buy all of Stephen King books in one go. Because he has 40-something books and yeah, there's just no way. Anyhow, I really want to read it. And the second book that I bought from this buyer is Bag of Bones. I mean, you cannot... There. Bag of Bones. This book is huge. Like, if you compare it to Gerald's Game, it is huge. Like, huge. Anyhow, I know this book is about this guy whose wife just died. And he's a writer, so he goes to this small town to get rid of that writer's block he has. So he goes there and he basically meets this couple who are going... I think they're already divorced and they're trying to see who is staying with their daughter. And between that, in this town, there's a mystery of a woman or a child who disappeared, I think. That's what I understood from the premise. I am not sure. It is a book that I really want to read. Even though it's huge. I mean, it is 500 pages. But I bet if it were like pocket edition, it would be like 1,000. Maybe. I don't know. This book I also didn't know anything about. But I still want to read it. That's why I bought it. It is also was $4. Like, I think every single book that I bought from Stephen King, like all of these were $4 each, which is great. Like, so cheap for these editions. Then I bought a used box set for $12. It was so cheap because this box set contains 4 books, and it is the box set of The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. The cover is actually so pretty. I mean, you can... Yeah, there. The cover is actually so pretty. So pretty. It has very yellowy, white colors, which goes very well with the white on the walls. I am super excited to read this trilogy. I am currently reading The Hobbit, which looks like this. Like this. It looks so pretty because it has all the trees, the river. Here we have Gandalf and I guess a hobbit, which Bilbo, Mr. Bilbo. I am currently reading this. I am on page 54. Barely starting. This book has like 260 pages or something. Whatever. This book is about this hobbit and elves and Gandalf that go on a journey. They have to go to this mountain where there's this dragon that's guarding this treasure, like pounds and pounds of gold. And yeah, it's basically an adventure book, and that's what they are going for the treasure. I have already seen the movie, so right now there's nothing new about the book that I have not seen in the movie. I am really glad that I have the Lord of the Rings trilogy because I've been wanting to read this since I was also like 10, since I watched the movies. They consist of The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The King Returns. The Return of the King. If you have not seen the first Lord of the Rings movie, I am so sorry. I'm not going to tell you what this book is about. I am pretty sure, like, 95% of you know what this trilogy is about. But yeah, what I am going to tell you is that these covers are so beautiful. Like, look at that. They are so beautiful. Like, this one is so pretty. It is so pretty. And my favorite, which is the third one, which is the Return of the King, it looks like that. It is so pretty. It's so white and so beige and so yellowy. It's so pretty. I love these covers. I cannot believe that I got them for $12. The original box set is $44. So cheap. So cheap. And the last books that I have, even though they are from Stephen King, I still wanted to mention them at the end because they are ebooks. I bought these before I bought any other Stephen King book that I have here in this book haul. The first one that I bought was Pet Sematary. This book I have already listened to and read. I read it and I listened to the audiobook as I was reading it. And I have to say, the audiobook is really good. Like, really good. I generally do not like reading to audiobooks because I don't really like the experience of an audiobook. But I started listening to the audiobook and I felt like it was great. I felt the voice of this guy. I don't remember the name of this guy, but he's the actor who played Dexter in Dexter. And he's really good at the audiobook. Dexter too, but the audiobook is great. He does a great job. This book is about this family who move into this house, and this house has a road, and a lot of animals get run over, so they have a pet cemetery that is built behind their house. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. It's a pretty horrific book. If the movie spooked you in any way, that movie is one of my favorite movies ever. So yeah, I mean, the movie's one thing, but the book, it just, like, blew my mind. I gave it 4 stars. Because I feel like if I hadn't seen the movie, this book would be, just so good. Like, better than It, which is my favorite Stephen King book so far. I have only read 2 of his books, but now I have 5 other books that I can read by him that I'm going to read very soon. The second Stephen King ebook that I bought is The Shining, which supposedly is his best work ever. I have seen the movie, but I have also been told that the book and the movie are very different in essence, not necessarily in the things that happen in the movie and in the book. They're pretty similar, but in general, they are very different. I hope you understood that. I do, sort of. But I'm just really excited to read all of the Stephen King books that I bought. And I wish I could read all of them this month, but I can't. I could also wish to read all of the Lord of the Rings trilogy this month, but I can't. It's just too much reading and I do not have the time. The rest of this month, I want to finish Cujo and Gerald's Game. I really want to read these 2. Even though I already read Pet Sematary this month, I have to read this 2 this month. Reading Stephen King is right now my obsession, and I feel like it's going to take a while for me to get rid of that obsession. And it's probably not going to happen unless I read all of Stephen King books. This is the end of the video. I already mentioned all of the books. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any Stephen King books that you like, please mention them in the description below. I would really like to know your favorite Stephen King book or your favorite Stephen King books so that I put a priority on them. I hope you have a great day and goodbye.